Hey everyone, welcome back to the We Care podcast. I'm Jordan Vaughn, nurse practitioner.
And I'm Molly Cooey, RN at We Care.
And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite seasons, and that is the laser season. We're going to break down how to pick which type of laser treatment you need, what kind of downtime is associated with that, and explain the different machines that we have here at We Care. There are lasers that treat sun damage, redness, pigment, texture, aging, so many different lasers.
All the good things. I love laser season. So if you're sitting at home wondering what the heck is laser season, so basically it's the time of year, typically fall, winter time, where clients are not in the sun as much. So it makes it a lot safer to use a stronger corrective treatment device. Less sun equals lower risk of hyperpigmentation, which in turn means better results for our clients. So I do have some clients, we can do lasers year round, but you've got to have really good skin habits to be a candidate for that. So fall and winter, are prime for us here. Fall cuts it a little close because we are, in the South, and so it does stay pretty warm. But yeah.
All right, well, let's start off with what everyone is most obsessed with right now, and that is the cool peel. So, Molly, tell us a little bit more about that one.
All right, I love the cool peel. So I'm actually, trying to plan out when I can do my next treatment for this year. Hopefully when I do it, I can do a nice little in-depth video to really take everybody along and give them an idea of what it really looks like. So cool peel is a CO2 laser, but unlike traditional CO2 lasers where people leave the office just looking raw and, oh my gosh, oozy and weepy and just destroyed faces. This is a very controlled superficial burn to the skin, and you heal so much faster from it. So it's going to stimulate collagen, it's going to smooth texture, it's going to tighten, it's going to work on those fine lines, minimize pores, and even tone.
And the downtime is so minimal with it.
Yes, that's what everybody loves, myself included. You're a little pink for 24 to 48 hours. Your skin also has that texture to where I always correlate it to when you get sand in your sunscreen. When you're washing your face or putting your moisturizer on for the next few days, that's kind of that texture.
I always say sandpaper. Mine feels like sandpaper.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, that's a great time too. It heals super fast, though. It is something that you can wear makeup, right away. But I do at least let clients know that expect some pilling because you do have those little microscabs that are kind of coming off. I tend to prefer tinted sunscreen to actual makeup just because I see makeup practices these days and those dirty brushes and sponges that everybody beats their face with. So I would rather you use a nice clean hygienic tube of tinted sunscreen afterwards. So I had this treatment last year. Actually, gosh, I think it was December last year. And I pull out the photos to show my clients all the time what to expect, because we were pretty aggressive.
Yeah, we were.
On me too. I'm pretty sure I always come in here with the phrase, just light me up.
Light me up.
So, but I am of the notion that if you're going to have a treatment, let's do it, and let's do it well. But so I had the laser. I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday that I came down here because we didn't have the device in Rome yet.
At that point,
I don't remember.
I don't remember if it was a Monday here,
but I know it was a Monday or Tuesday. And then by Friday night, I was out with my friends, downtown Broad Street.
I think I came up on Friday that week, and I saw your face. I was like, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. It was great. So it was, now I wasn't wearing full makeup, which I'm not. I've never been a huge all-out makeup. It's just tinted sunscreen that I have on right now, too. But I even posted photos from that night out with my friends on Facebook and Instagram. So I know that you couldn't tell that I had just had an aggressive laser series done. And that has really helped a lot of the clients that are in my chair understand, I can make it through this. It's going to be fine.
it's the ultimate, I want the results, but I still have a life kind of treatment.
Yes.
But I do like to point out, though, if someone is okay with a little more aggressive and they want their skin falling off, this device does have the power to do the decapulse, and that has to be done by, me or you, a senior laser practitioner, and we can go really, really deep, and it can be very aggressive. They just have to be okay with downtime, and that one they're, weeping and their skin is coming off a little more for a good probably 5 to 7 days.
Right, which not necessarily always that aggressive, because I think technically on my neck last year it was DECA. Okay. So you could see like a little line of demarcation where that laser was run, but you had to look really closely. But I know she could have turned it up a lot more than even that level.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about some IPL, another favorite treatment.
This is another awesome laser. So IPL stands for intense pulse light. So it's basically the erase button for sun damage. Think of IPL as a bright light that targets brown spots, age spots, sun freckles, redness, broken capillaries, all the good stuff. It's not going to be resurfacing like Cool Peel. I think of it as more of like a color corrector.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. So all of that background browns and reds, it's really going to work on targeting those. So IPL is actually one of the first aesthetic treatments that I started receiving back when I was in dermatology. I started out as a lifeguard at 15, and that was my thing through college. It was a very flexible job for me around all of my sports and dance and things like that. And I even did 2 years of ocean rescue at Myrtle Beach.
I didn't know that.
So lots of sun exposure that I put myself through. And I was very big in sunscreen, but when you're spending 80 hours on the beach, you're going to be a brown baby. So I had sunspots. I remember looking back at photos at delivery photos with my kids, and I can see big brown spots on my face. And I'm like, ooh, those have got to go.
Yes. And
so that was what I worked on, was the IPL. It kind of has like a rubber band popping sensation when the pulse hits the face. It makes those brown spots, it brings them to the surface. So it actually makes them darker before it clears them out. But it's something where like it kind of looks like coffee grounds as they're coming to the surface. And just over the next 5 to 7 days as you're washing your face, they just kind of break up and wash away. So it's really nice, and this was really the start to my skin transformation years ago.
It was actually the start to mine too. That was the first laser I ever had done. It was actually the device that we have now. When we first got it, that was the first laser that I had ever done, and it was the IPL. I did it more because I had rosacea. My cheeks were so angry and red all the time, and the rep was like, oh, you would be the perfect candidate to try this. So I tried it for my rosacea, and holy glowy, like it really toned down that redness, the broken capillaries. And then I also had the pigmentation. I have freckles and things like that, and they just peeled off. It was so cool.
Right. I know you glow all the time now.
Thanks to all these devices. Right. So let's talk a little bit about one of the devices that we have in Rockmart. I don't know if you've played around with that one too much. Y'all have the Spectrum in Rome, but we have the Modus here in Rockmart, and it's used for laser hair removal, so like your legs and other areas. It can also treat some vascular concerns too. That I've done on my leg. I had like this little spider vein come up and was able to hit it with the Modus, and it took it right away. A lot of the laser hair removal and vein removal devices, they are a little spicy, painful, and the one cool thing about the Modus is it's almost painless. So a lot of people love that.
Right. We love a gentle but effective treatment.
Yes. And the Modus definitely does that. So it can treat the laser hair removal, cherry angiomas, like the little red spots you'll see on people's faces or arms, bellies, superficial facial and leg veins, and just red patches, also like the rosacea. Or if you just want smooth skin for summer, you need to start in the fall. This is the time to start now. It takes several sessions, so we would want, people to come in now to get it done before summer.
Right. And not having to shave is a wonderful thing.
I've got to get on that, but it really is. I have in a couple of areas like my underarms, but I would love to do it on my legs. So when we have a lot of time, let's hit that. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I want you to explain, to a client, how would you pick the best laser? What would be the best one for who?
Okay. So how to look at what laser is best for you. Here's the little cheat sheet. If your skin is dull, textured, has fine lines, we're going to cool peel, that laser resurfacing. If you have brown spots, redness, and or freckles, IPL. And then if you want hair removal or vascular spots treated, we're going to use the Modus device. If you're in our Rockmart office, we have the Spectrum device for our Rome clients. It does the same thing. And then, sometimes we combine treatments based on our clients' needs. No two treatments look the same.
Yes, and no two patients are treated the same way, and no two people have the same exact settings either. So how many treatments should a patient expect?
So 3 is my favorite number for a lot of things. When starting a laser regimen, we're going to treat in a series. Recommend cool peel, 3 sessions, at least 1 month apart. But the cool thing about that is they're still going to see benefits from that series 3 to 4 months after treatment. IPL, again, starting off series of 3, 1 month apart. And then, depending on what their skin concerns were, maintenance is going to be 1 to 2 sessions per year. Maybe if there's somebody with a more aggressive form of rosacea, it might be doing it a little more often to keep that background redness under control. Hair removal, whether it's with the Modus or the Spectrum, I always say you are going to start off with at least 6 treatments.
Yes.
Upwards of 10. Sometimes hair is stubborn, and hormones play a big role in, how well laser hair removal is going to work for somebody too.
And I do tell my hormone patients that, and people who have PCOS and things like that they're probably going to have to come in for some touch-up sessions, and that it is laser hair reduction for them more than removal for them.
Right. But even just getting to where that hair is a lot more finer and not as noticeable or thick and coarse is still a great benefit.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about some of the key things that people would expect after they have a laser treatment, that we want them to avoid that direct sunlight, wearing their SPF, no tanning beds, can we say, ever? Gentle skincare. You want to do that for the 24, 72 hours, nothing harsh on your face. You have to stay hydrated. That would be a great time for IV as well.
Yes.
Don't pick at any of the flaking areas, especially after the IPL. So picking skin that is not ready, that can cause scarring of the face. Yes. We do not want to have any scarring.
Right. I know it's hard sometimes for people to resist that. Okay, so I want to briefly touch on laser safety. So there's a lot of devices out there, and it can be kind of confusing on who can do what, and every state has their own guidelines on who can touch what, who can do which thing. So for the devices at WeCare, it is mandatory that we are licensed through the Medical Board of Georgia as a laser practitioner. So there's 2 different levels to that. There is the assistant laser practitioner, and then there's the senior laser practitioner. So estheticians, LPNs, RNs, they start out as the assistant laser practitioner. RNs, once they have enough experience as the assistant laser practitioner and enough clinical experience, they have the option to move into that senior laser practitioner timeline. And then you had noted that nurse practitioners are automatically in that senior. And then the MDs are automatically in that senior laser practitioner too. So all of this is just to say, Jordan and I both are senior laser practitioners. I think I've been running laser devices since 2015 might be when I was officially certified. And that was, the goal at the office that I worked at was to be able to run lasers. And then I've just continued because I enjoy it so much.
You do so many lasers.
I do a lot of lasers. I love them.
Yes.
So all of this is to say, don't be afraid to ask questions. I love when people question, my authority on the subject, so to speak. Verify the person that is taking care of you is allowed to take care of you in that way. Verify what their scope of practice is and everything, because we just want you to receive the best treatment you can, and we care about your safety.
Yeah, safety is a huge concern these days, like in all aspects of aesthetics and medicine. And we really just want what is best for the patient and for the patient's skin. So I hope you all enjoyed our intro to laser talk today, and hopefully you understand how they work and if they would work for you and what they treat just a little bit better. So be sure to tune in for our next episode.
And make sure to subscribe and share this episode, and follow We Care Health and Wellness for more education and behind the scenes content. And don't forget that at the end of the day,
we care. Y'all have a great day.